Anyone else feel this growing pressure to be a millionaire by 16 or else you're a failure? Now, while I'm obviously being dramatic, there is a rising feeling of if you're not rich young, then you might as well not be rich at all. With things like rising costs, this dialogue around what it means to be a man and just manhood in general, and trends inside of investor culture and things that they look for, and how everybody's looking for the next Mark Zuckerberg, the next college dropout that will garner $1 billion at their IPO. It's a really weird time where being an average person feels like a death sentence. And that's something I'd like to talk about. But first, welcome to the channel. I'm Mr.Yyetti, and I believe that the way we conduct business is not very different from the way we conduct our personal lives. So why not get a good understanding of both? If that sounds like something you're interested in, make sure to subscribe so you stay notified of all of our content as they come out. Now, let's talk about why being successful feels like a do or die situation. Now, this one's going to be a little more of a self-reflection. I hope you don't mind. But I want to beg the question of what is success? What is enough? And I'm a risk manager, so I have to ask the question, is this sustainable? Now, for our first question, what is enough? This idea of you need to make a bunch of money in order to even just survive, right? And while there are rising costs, I'm here in Toronto, so there's rising costs of groceries, of housing. Being able to even just do anything after your job kind of costs money. What does that mean for me? Does that mean that I need to be a millionaire to survive? Obviously not. But where is our benchmark? And I think that question is what a lot of this idea of I need to be successful and wealthy to survive comes from. Because people don't have necessarily a good benchmark or a definitive benchmark on what is comfortable and how much do I need to make to be comfortable, they'll listen to these financial gurus and online personalities to say, oh, what you want to be comfortable, you want to have dating success, you want to be someone that anyone can respect, be a millionaire. Do I actually need to have $1 million? Am I any less comfortable and successful if I had a net worth of $800,000? Obviously not. But there's no name for somebody with $800,000, right? We have millionaire, billionaire, and everybody else, right? That's the way that social media especially has been pushing it, and these people that get rich off of telling you this garbage. So what is enough? I don't know. But I know it's not this crazy goal that's been given to me. The other side is, what is success? What does it mean to be successful? And again, when we look at social media, we look outside and we look at, the people who are praised inside of our modern society. It usually has to do with wealth, and it usually has to do with your level of power.
If somebody is being sued concurrently by two women for sole custody of their child because that person has not spent any time with that child, when someone is so severely addicted to drugs, they can't get their shit together to show up to the White House without looking exceptionally high. I don't think that's the right role model for young men. So what I would ask to all of us is look at what money has done to us. That if someone can land a rocket on metal scissors or create a great AV, he's a genius. He's the wealthiest man in the world. But does that mean we should excuse depravity?
He was talking about this glorification of wealthy people despite them having some of the worst personal lives, right?
His legacy is not going to be an EV or putting rockets into space. I think it's going to be unnecessary death, disease, and disability of the world's most vulnerable. That is not what it means to be an innovator. It's not what it means to be an American. It's not what it means to be a man.
Some of them, the rest of the world hates them, or they have terrible policies. They're running companies that are incredibly misogynistic, bigoted, sexist, racist, whatever have you, right? Are these the people that we as a society should be glorifying? So, what is success? Is success being just like a really good person? Probably. But we have to be real with ourselves. I'm not coming on here to give you motivational talk on why you shouldn't have like try to be wealthy and there's more to life than that. I would be lying to you guys. Do I look up to somebody who has like a full family but like they're living paycheck to paycheck, and that is the reality of a lot of families in Canada? Do I look up to them because they have bustling families and it's great, but they're struggling here and there and stuff? Do I look up to them? If I'm being super honest, not really, right? If anything, I look at that and I say, are those my own thoughts, or have those been given to me by the way I've been conditioned by the society I live in? I don't know. But we have to ask this question of what does success look like, because if being a millionaire is success, then yeah, it's gonna feel like do or die, because you feel like you will die from hunger and poverty if you're not a millionaire. And that's just not the case. Now you might say, man, Victor, this isn't like your other videos. Usually you have like solutions. I have no solution on this one. I am literally struggling with this as I speak. But the biggest question that I ask myself, and I've been asking myself every time I get this feeling, is that, okay, you want to be successful. I want to be successful, right? I would like to have a good amount of money by at a certain point in time. And sometimes it feels like I should be having it right now. And it makes sense. I am living in the now. I will always be living in the now. So it makes sense that I would want to reap those rewards and have those rewards right now. But this begs the question. If I had it at 30, will I be any happier or sadder? Now, that's a very good question that I do not know the answer to. But it asks another question of, if I say, okay, you know what, based off of the way that things are going in my life right now, I don't think I'll be incredibly wealthy until I'm maybe 30. Is that even an improvement? Yes, I've managed my expectations. Go watch that video. But am I just leaving my older self with the same problem? Have I even addressed anything? Why is my success anchored on an age that I achieve it at? And I look at people like Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett and how they didn't become millionaires, I'm pretty sure, till like their early 30s, right? Which goes against this idea of only successful people are young. And if you're not successful by the time you're young, then you might as well just give up, right? It's a question to keep thinking about and keep answering for yourself over and over again. You're never going to come to the answer. You have to keep answering, right? And it's something you have to struggle with. And I struggle with it myself. But I think there's a larger problem with our society and, the mantra that's going around when we have very young people saying, I will probably be, if I'm not wealthy, I'm in poverty, and there's no middle ground. Maybe that's true, maybe that's not. That's based on who you ask. But I think it begs a larger question about just the state of our mind right now and whether this is sustainable for a society. Or if it actually is true, why is our society like that? And why is it that if I am not amassing wealth at this insane level, that I'm not doing well at all? Those are a bunch of questions that are beyond the scope of one video, but I've been struggling with them, which means I'm sure some of you have as well. So because we're all struggling with it, you should let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know. Am I wrong? Am I right? Do you think I'm being dramatic? Do you think I'm not actually asking the really hard questions? Let me know. But until then, don't